Ladies, if your cycle affects your performance and training goals, then listen up. Or you're tired of dealing with reoccurring iron deficiencies and fatigue just before your period, then this video is just for you. Today, we're going to dig into how your menstrual cycle affects your training, what hormonal fluctuations really do to your body, and how to adapt your nutrition so you stay on top of your game. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel so you can see all of the future videos that I post about sports nutrition. So let's dive into it. We all know, well, granted that it's only females watching this video, that our period does affect our energy levels and performance in training. On Instagram, there's heaps of information out there convincing us that we have to train with our cycle, which essentially means reducing intensity or skipping training on specific weeks of your cycle or pushing hard on only particular days. The training with your cycle model forces us to change our training program and actually stop listening to our body. The other problem here is, as an athlete, you can't control when your next competition is coming up and if your cycle coincides with this. This advice also means that your performance is going to consistently suffer. You might pull back on training the week before your cycle starts, and you might only have harder or more intense training sessions just after your period ends. And if you are in a team sport, you can't rely on the fact that your other teammates have the same cycle as you, and your program is going to be based on these recommendations. So instead of training with your cycle, I'm going to teach you how to understand your individual patterns across your cycle and how to fuel correctly so you feel great at any time of the month. So, what is actually going on inside your body? According to research, hormone fluctuations around your menstrual cycle can alter how your body uses energy substrates, which means that changes to your nutrition across your cycle can impact your symptoms and how you feel at each week across the month. In certain phases, your body may favor carbohydrates, whereas in other phases, you may be able to tap into fats more effectively. And due to your monthly blood loss, this also increases iron requirements, which is important for building hemoglobin. But let's translate all of these into tips that you can implement. Number one is to start tracking your cycle phases. It can be as simple as downloading an app like Flow or Clue and start tracking when you get your period, how long your period lasts for, and the symptoms that are associated with it. Over a few months, you will start to recognize patterns that occur across each week in your cycle. Maybe you notice that your energy levels are higher in the first 3 weeks of your cycle, and then you notice that your energy and mood dips towards that last week before you get your period. The second tip is to adjust your carbohydrate intake once you recognize these patterns. So if you notice from tracking your period that you typically feel more fatigued that week leading up to your cycle, instead of changing your training sessions, first start by increasing your carbohydrates to see if it provides you with the energy you need to continue pushing through. The reason why energy dips the week before your period is very common across females is because hormone fluctuations at this time increases your body temperature, which then increases your metabolic rate by 5 to 10%. This also increases your body's use of carbohydrates. So it's important to replenish your carbohydrate stores to stay on top of your performance and also reduce the common cravings that most females experience during this time. The third tip is to make sure you're having 18 to 20 milligrams of iron each day. Foods like lean red meats, spinach, and legumes are great sources of iron. And if you're plant-based, look for iron-fortified foods or speak to your healthcare professional for some supplements. So, just to summarize quickly, tracking your cycle allows you to be in the driver's seat again. It stops you from having to make drastic changes to your training program because you might not need to. It just means you need to adjust your food appropriately around certain times across your cycle so that you reduce fatigue, support muscle recovery, and enhance your energy levels at every single week of the month. So I know it sounds simple. Track your cycle, increase your carbs, watch your iron intake, but there are some common mistakes that I notice athletes making when they're trying to improve their cycle symptoms. So like I mentioned before, the first one is training with your cycle and ignoring your own individual data. Avoid making changes to your training program without recognizing your own individual patterns. You might be that 1 in a million female that doesn't actually experience many symptoms and doesn't need to change their training program or their food based on their cycle. I've seen so many athletes make this mistake, reducing their training intensity when they don't need to and impacting their performance in the long term. The second mistake is over-restricting carbs at every single week of the month. Yes, low-carb diets have become trendy, but if you're a female who is training consistently, particularly through hormone fluctuations, then dropping your carbohydrate intake too low can leave you feeling depleted. Carbohydrates are essential to support your muscle glycogen, particularly if you're a female who experiences fatigue around your period. The next mistake I see being made is relying on iron supplementation before even getting your blood test done. Supplementing with iron just because you have a period can be problematic if you don't know your baseline levels and you're already getting enough iron through your diet. Too much iron can become toxic, so it's important to seek help from a health professional, get your blood test done, and reassess whether you need additional supplementation on top of your diet. But if you do need iron supplements, be mindful of the absorption. Pair your supplements with some vitamin C to help enhance absorption into the bloodstream, and also avoid caffeine or calcium while taking the supplement, as this can inhibit the absorption. And there you have it. If this video helped you understand your body better and how your cycle impacts your performance and utilization of food, then please give this video a like and subscribe for more videos in the future.